Thank you, band. Thank you, technology. I'm going to do things a little different here, and I'm going to do a quick prayer at the beginning after I get this working. I just want to declare that this is a house of light. This is a house of love. Spirit is working here, and we are grateful for the community of light and the angels that are here and our ancestors that are here. This is a house of transformation. This is a community where we accept all people, all faiths. Thank you, universe, for the unconditional love that is everywhere present and in this moment. Amen. All right. I got to do the ritual, Jack, hand over the eyes. Any new people here today? First-time Unity people. All right. Oh, there we go. Thank you for being courageous. It takes courage to show up at a new place. We have a gift for you. And do we have anyone here that is from another Unity? On the planet, yeah. Do you know Unity almost, I don't think it has an Antarctica, but every other continent has a Unity. There's hundreds of Unities around the world. Okay. I forgot my good old welcome slide here. Oh. Okay, let me do some quick announcements. And Cassie, could you do me a favor and turn on the confidence monitor for me? Do you know how to do that? All right. I'll just have to rely on my own confidence. Here's some announcements for you. After the service today, we have a potluck right at 12:15. Gives you a few minutes to go out and get something if you don't have anything. But if you don't have anything, come anyway. We always have a lot of food. And it's a chance to meet other people and just celebrate that life is good. I don't have my conscious communication practice group today, but next week I encourage you to show up, have that same courage, because it's a place where we can practice and learn how to speak and come from a place free of judgment. And upcoming next month is the prosperity class, which I'm going to take probably for the third or fourth time. I love the teachings there, but also the camaraderie, getting to know people, and just participating in this community. So I encourage you to definitely show up for that. All right. What I want to do now is take a moment where we all can pray together. So if you're sitting here physically, we have pieces of paper in front of you, and I encourage you to write down a prayer for yourself and for someone else, and not just if they need something of need, but write down a prayer of celebration, write down a prayer of gratitude. Oh, thank you for all the wildflowers and the green grasses from all this rain. Thank you, God, for nature. So I encourage you to write a prayer for someone in need or one of gratitude. And this man, who also has the honor of being named Steve, will be walking down and picking up those prayers. So while the band plays some music here, go ahead and take some time and write down a prayer. think of a prayer that later you can always go out in the lobby and write that prayer down and put it in our prayer box. We pray over those requests for 30 days, and then we pass them on to Unity, and they pray over them for 30 days. So it's a golden opportunity to just add some infusion of spirit into this world. Okay. And now, to get us started and warmed up and that spirit running through us, we are graced again with some musicians that we are blessed with repeatedly. Please help me welcome and give a warm round of applause for John and Amy.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here. This is one of our favorite places to play, and to see your faces out there, it's just so encouraging, and we really appreciate it. A lot of times we have sing-along songs, but this first one is less of a sing-along. It's one that I wrote last fall, and it's an encouraging song. It's about kind of going through a hard time but coming out the other side, and really being optimistic about the future, and kind of that uphill after the downhill. It's called Waiting for Me. All the Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Amy. I said about helping get that spirit flowing, and I feel it. I feel my creative juices going as well, too. Thank you for that. So my name is Steve Hayes, and I work here at the church as assistant to Santisha, and I'm training to be a minister. I'm still about a year and a half, 2 years out. The Groverlands are off on a spirit-led camping trip. If you know them, they've done that for decades, where they just get together and go, okay, Spirit, left or right, where to go? And they go with it. And the stories that come up from that. And it's no wonder I work here, because I do the same thing. I love to go to San Francisco and get on my bicycle and say, okay, Spirit, where am I going? And then I just go with that. So blessings to them. And it's such a privilege to work with the Grovelands, people that are so rooted in spirit, and with people that are open-hearted and really committed to the work of spirit. Enlightenment is a piece of cake. In fact, I'm going to have a piece right now, because nothing like the actual, if I can open the packaging. Maybe that's a barrier to enlightenment. But I'm really looking forward to this. I have to hang with it until I get it open. Or maybe we can just enjoy it visually. Oh, look. There we go. Look at that cake. I want to say that the spiritual life is just as easy as taking a fork and a nice piece of cake right in front of you and then taking a bite. That's from Lucky's Bakehouse in Boulder. So, enlightenment is easy, and enlightenment tastes good, and I'm here to share about how the spiritual journey is easy today. That is my focus, and I'll go into detail and give you a lot of personal examples. Before I go on, I want to give some credit to some people. I have a friend named Kate, who I just think of a high priestess of spirituality, that she's the one that taught me that enlightenment is a piece of cake. And a lot of my stuff today is from the Course in Miracles, which is a study guide that we use here a lot. And I want to give a shout out to all the people that are in the Course in Miracles right now, because it takes a community. And salvation would not be possible if there weren't courageous people like you. So thank you for the people in the Course in Miracles. Okay, so here I am using another metaphor. I used dragons before, and now I'm using the metaphor of cake. Guess who also used a lot of metaphors? Anyone want to guess? I think I heard it. Jesus used a lot of metaphors, because if I just tell you enlightenment's easy, then it might just pop off your head, right? Because intellectually we have resistance. But if I say enlightenment's a piece of cake and I give you that image, maybe you'll get in there. And that's what Jesus did. He was a master storyteller, because if you look at the New Testament, it's just packed with metaphors. Metaphors like, the kingdom of God is like a house built upon the rock. The kingdom of God is like a pearl of great price that once it was found, he sold everything else and just went for that one pearl. Jesus could have said, oh yeah, forgiveness is important. But maybe that would have bounced off. Instead of just saying forgiveness is important, he told the story of the prodigal son, that powerful story of that child that goes off and wastes all his inheritance, and he comes back and his father just slaughters the biggest bull and just loves him unconditionally. It's the story that he told. It's the metaphors. So I'm hoping this cake metaphor might open some new channels in you today. Traditional religion says spirituality is hard. Not only do we have to go to church every Sunday, theoretically, but we have to read these books and do all these gurus. I don't think it's true. This is what traditional religion often says. It involves sacrifice. It's difficult. It's about striving to be something you're not. It takes years of personal work and inquiry. And of course, you need to have a guru. You got to read all those books. You got to hunt down the right tools. You got to dwell in that muck of all your past trauma. It's a long, arduous journey, and the answer's out there somewhere. And maybe only the priests have access to it. And maybe only some of you actually deserve it. It can cost a lot, and it's not actually that fun. But luckily, you only have to do it once with Jesus. Okay, that's my humor in there. All that, I believe, is false. It is not that difficult. This, I want to say, I just want to back up a little bit because that was a joke, but I want to say that unity believes in all the paths to God. And I am so grateful for traditional Christianity because it kind of brought me here today. But in unity, we believe that Jesus teaches how to live here and now. He's not just talking about the afterlife and a one-time thing. He's saying this is how to live here and now. Why enlightenment is a piece of cake? It's just a decision away. It's free for everyone. It always tastes perfect and delicious. It's served on a plate or a plastic thing. You don't even have to know the recipe. It's 0 calories. You can eat as much as you want. You can eat every day forever. It tastes good. If it doesn't taste good, you're just missing a few ingredients. It's available 24/7. Costs you nothing. It's super duper fun. You thrive on it, and Jesus eats it too. All right, God heard some laughter on that one. I didn't actually check with him, but I'm going to assume that he would if he was here in physical sense. Is enlightenment really that simple? Well, we don't have to go too far. Let's just look to nature. We have such an abundance of nature here, but here's some questions for you. Does a flower have to do years of personal work to look and smell spectacular? Does a sunset have to purchase an expensive personal growth program to be that stunning reminder of the beauty of the universe? Does a newborn baby only look divinely cute because it has done so much therapy? Does a smile bring joy to your voice only if that person has given his life over to a guru? No, all these things, the flower, the sunset, I just love, it's hard. In Colorado, we smile more than we do that I used to in California, but I so enjoy it when I'm walking down and someone just gives you an unconditional, full-on smile. It just, whew. We all can do that right here, right now. It doesn't take any training. So these things, the beauty and the power of spirituality is really just so close and available to us right now. Every one of us has a huge divine inheritance that the universe is just waiting to give us. The thing is, we have to decide to believe in it. We have to decide to put Spirit first in our lives. It's just a decision. It's not a mountain. It's not a guru or a long journey. You can do it right here, right now, if you just take a holy pause. Right in that space, you can switch and drop into Spirit and be in that divine inheritance. I want to revisit the words from Santisha's meditation last week. At the end, I get the benefit of cutting and doing all the video stuff, and I really heard the words. Let's just review toward the end of her meditations. If your heart is open, the power and the beauty of Spirit is near as your next breath. If your heart is closed, it is as far away as the farthest star. So choose to know that it is near to you as your next breath. All this depends on you and you alone. You are the one who stands at the threshold. You decide to open your heart or close it down. You are the one who chooses to bring love or withhold it. Please choose to bring love. Love as near as your next breath. There's no references out there to love happens when this occurs in the outside world or this and this. It's all about your choice. And that choice is so easy. It's just like your next breath. The Course in Miracles puts it this way. Ask and it shall be given to you because it has already been given to you. Ask for light and learn that you are light. If you want enlightenment, you will learn it because your decision to learn it is the decision to listen. There is no limit on your learning because there is no limit to your mind. It has already been given to you. That's why it's so close and so easy. It's not out there. It's not an accomplishment or something you need to find or dig down and uproot. No, it's right here, right now, right in this moment. You can live from that place of faith that I'm being guided and I have everything I need right in this moment. Course in Miracles also says, heaven is a decision you must make. Heaven is not a place that you go to after you die and have done all the work and been perfect. Only if you've been perfect. No. Heaven is just a decision that you make. I'm going to give you a personal example because unity is all about practical spirituality. So here's a practical application. I was hiking the other day with my friend Kate, who is what I consider a high priestess. And I'm so grateful to be out there in Chautauqua, and it's so beautiful. But as you know, that first hill, if you go up the traditional place, is steep. And so I was thinking, yay, nature, but now I need to trudge up this hill. I'm trudging up this hill. And it wasn't just 5 minutes into that walk that Kate just became overwhelmed with love for the trees. So here I was trudging, and she's like, oh, and she runs over and she hugs this tree, and she's like, thank you, tree, you're so beautiful. Look at that tree. And then she went over and hugged this tree. And I don't do that as much, but I did go to UC Santa Cruz. A lot of hippies there, so I have some experience tree hugging. But I got in there, did it with her. Oh, and I felt it. I think trees do love to be hugged. Every time I hugged a tree, it was like an affirmation of yes, I am rooted in spirit, and I am unfolding to my highest good, and I have the faith to just be where I am. So while I was making the decision of trudge, Kate was like, I'm going to see love everywhere, and I'm going to celebrate love right here, right now. And that's what she did, and that transformed me and inspired me so much. I'm very grateful for that. But what was her difference? What was the difference from her hiking that trail and me? Just that decision of how I perceive and how I am showing up. I grew up in a religion called Creative Initiative Foundation, which I'm very grateful for. It's very similar to Unity, but in some ways very different. I was only there from 0 to 16, and I realized when I was writing this talk, oh, that's right. They would say all the time, the truth is just a decision. You're in a situation, you just decide for spirit. And as a kid, I thought that was just complete BS. Because I was at that place, junior high, where, you're so worried about how you look and what you do and what's my identity and, and just caught up in all that. And I could never understand it. Okay, I'll decide to be good. No, but they were saying that all that we're seeking is just a decision away. But to be clear, I'm not saying that if you live your life in complete faith that you won't have hardship and you won't have to work, learn, or grow. But what I am saying is the following. This way. You have all the answers in you. You have all the peace within you, all the joy, all the power. You are an infinite, perfect child of Spirit, just as you are. And Spirit will not give you anything you cannot handle. This isn't something that you need to go on top of a mountain to have manifest in your life. This is something you can do right here, right now. Spirit is always here to guide you and empower you. If you listen and have faith, then all these things are just a breath away. Another personal example. Anyone recognize this? Unity headquarters. That is the silent Unity tower there where they pray 24/7, 365 days. Remember all the prayer requests you put in today, they go to that tower and people pray over them 24/7. So I've been in Unity for a long time, and back in California, it was the 100-year anniversary of Unity, 1990, 100 years of Unity. And so they had a big celebration, regional Northern California celebration, kind of like we do here, but bigger. And I'm just a big, enthusiastic Unity person. So I said, I'll participate, whatever. And they said, okay, you're during Charles Fillmore. I'm like, okay, what an honor. I mean, that they chose me. Turns out it's really difficult to do that. I didn't know that. But I thought it can't be that difficult. I'm just going to lip sync some songs, do a little acting. I can do that. And then, like a month before the actual show, the director, and here's the key, the director tells me that, no, you're not going to lip sync. I want you to sing that live. In fact, we're not even going to have any music, Steve. I want you to sing these 3 songs a cappella. Oh, see, this man that told me this, his name is Ed Sheeran. Not Ed Sheeran, but Ed Sheeran. And he was a Unity minister. He was a comedian, and then he found Unity, and he became a Unity minister, and he brought laughter to Unity. But he is someone that is absolutely committed to live life 100% Spirit. Like, he doesn't have an ounce of worry in him. And so when I heard that I'm singing all this a cappella, and I was thinking about how big this production is, I didn't choose to take that breath and have faith. I chose the ego. I was like, oh my gosh, where are the costumes and where am I going to stay? And where's Myrtle? Where's Myrtle? Because we didn't have someone to play Myrtle up until like 3 weeks before the show. So I was running around with my tail on fire. So that month, for Ed, for me, that last month was just kind of stress and terror because I was trying to defend my ego, worrying about what I was going to look like and what's going to happen. But Ed was like, it's all going to work out. And it was a total miracle. I couldn't believe it. Everything worked out. Everyone in the cast found a place to stay. We got Myrtle, the music happened, and people loved the show. I mean, I was stunned. I think I just stayed home and did nothing for 2 days, like, wow, that was such a big miracle. But he was present and enjoyed the whole month. And how much difference can that make where we place our faith? So Ed, if you're watching this, thank you. That was such a fun experience. And I think Charles and Myrtle were there. I mean, that's why the production went well. I think they were just present and helping us. The thing is, you can have your spiritual cake and eat it too, because it's free and it's available. But what you can't have is your spiritual cake and your ego. It's one or the other. If you're going to entertain anything of the ego, then you are in the ego world. So you have to decide to put Spirit first and trust that you'll be shown where to go, what to do. So that was 30 years ago, and today I am committed to having 100% faith in my life and in everything I do. I think I will be guided just to be in the place where I need to be. I will have everything I need. I will live as long as I want. Charles and Fillmore believed that they had such mastery over their lives that they could live as long as they wanted to. They were like, our bodies are a reflection of our consciousness. And so we can do that. But I've done this so much that I actually had a bumper sticker made. Bring it on, God. there's a website you can go and get this. And when I got that on my car, a Unity friend, pulled me aside and said, Steve, I don't think you really want to put that on the back of your car. Because if you say, bring it on, God, guess what? God's going to bring it on, and then who knows what chaos is going to happen in your life, and all this stuff's going to happen. No, that's the old way of thinking. The new way of thinking is, God's will is my best will. If I want to live a life so full of joy and peace and expression, God knows what cake is good for me better than I know what cake is good for me. And so I have no fear. In fact, I just open and trust in all ways that Spirit will guide me. So bring it on, God. All right. For some reason, every time I give a talk, I like to be my own devil's advocate. So here we go. But spirituality is simple. But Steve, can it really be that simple? Okay, before I go to the next thing, I want everyone to just take a moment and take their right ear and just wiggle it a little bit. I actually heard somewhere that if you wiggle your right ear, it opens your mind to simple ideas. I don't think it necessarily works, but I just want to reinforce that spirituality is simple. So I'm going to go over and talk to this guy who doesn't believe it over here, that spirituality is simple. Simple, powerful, gesundheit, and it is really important. I want to give you another real-life example that I will call XYZ. And this is something I had to really grieve over, because in the last 2 years, we lost some members, and the interesting thing is, we lost some members because they thought we believed in XYZ. And then we lost some people that said, I'm leaving because you don't believe in XYZ. We lost people based on the belief of XYZ. And I want to be super clear. We don't take political stands here at Unity at all. Where we do stand, though, firmly and strongly, is for diversity and honoring that everyone is a child of God, no matter who they are, what their gender is, what they believe, red, blue, XYZ, no XYZ. Simple, right? Is that too simple? I don't think so. Let me go back to Jesus and what he said about this. When Jesus said, love your neighbor, he knew your neighbor would act, look, believe, and love differently than you. It's kind of the whole point. Where in your life are you allowing division to show up based on what someone else's unique expression of God? We are all children of God. We are called to honor diversity. Here's the next simple thing. What's the name of our church? It's not duality. It's unity. The key, if you choose to have that spiritual cake, is you are living in that space of unity. We are all one. We are all children of God, all doing our best, and we're all perfect. Not just some, and those people over here and over here, everyone. It's such a simple practice. But it's almost too simple. That's a name. We need to come from a place of unity and greet everyone as Christ in expression. Another way of looking at it, we live in a universe. Not a dual verse, a universe. I love it. Uni 1, verse 1. A lot of physicists think that everything in the universe is an expression, a frequency, like a song. Every one of us has been sung into existence from that one song, that one universe. And we're still being sung and supported and loved, and it's still happening with us. But that's in everyone and everything. We live in a universe. that is a reminder for me to, how are we doing on time here? Oh, I was going to play a song, but I think I'm going to skip through it just because I want to make sure I get covered everything. How are we doing? Yeah. I want to tell you another personal story, which is I love traveling to other religious communities, whether Unity or Presbyterian, anything. There's truth in all paths. And I went to another Unity recently, and I heard this affirmation that I heard when I first walked in Unity 35 years ago. I was so moved when they brought all the children up, and everyone in the whole auditorium said, "You are God's perfect child. God and I love you just the way you are, and we see the Christ in you." Oh, who wouldn't want to grow up with that awareness that you are perfect just the way you are in Christ? And I didn't grow up with that. I wish I did. I thought how blessed those kids are. But the thing is, this other Unity I went to, they switched it up. You are God's perfect child. God and I love you just the way you are. We see the Christ as you. See, we hear, and this is closer to the Unity's teachings that Merton Fillmore said. God is not external. God is not just a little spark inside of us that we may or may not see. No, we are God. We are that universe. So now at this other church, they say that. We see the Christ as you, 100%, exactly as you are. Oh, that really was wonderful to see that. Enlightenment is a piece of cake because you don't have to find God. You are God. All right, next thing I want to do is also a very simple thing. You know the song that we sing every time at the end of the 11 o'clock service, I release and I let go? It's such an uplifting song. But if you look at it, it's saying exactly what I'm talking about today. Let's review some of the songs. I release and let go. That means I am deciding not to live my life by the ego. I'm letting go of judgment, shame, the idea that I need to be perfect or that I need to strive to be something else. I'm letting all that go. And I let Spirit run my life. Because it does. It can run your life. I mean, you're the hands and feet of God, but what do I do in this moment? Oh, thank you. What do I do in this moment? Oh, thank you. I let Spirit run my life, and my heart, like Santisha said, is open wide to receive all that intelligence and the wisdom that the universe just is waiting to give us. And yes, I'm only here for God. That one took me a while to get, right? Wait, am I only here for God? Because I think I'm here also to, get a house and do all these other things. I'm only here for God because if I put God first in my life, again, that is the highest and the best expression for me. So I can think, I can control, and my little tiny mind knows what's best for me, or I can open up my heart and know that God will guide me to my highest good. Yes, I'm only here for God. And what does this mean? What does it mean when we make this decision and open your heart? No more struggle, no more strife. Ooh, who doesn't want no more struggle, no more strife? And with my faith, with the expectation that if I leave space, Spirit will guide me. And if I don't know how to heal whatever's on my life, like God, I don't know. I'm here, but I don't know how to address what's happening in my life. But I'm here. I will be shown who I need to talk to, what I need to do to be healed. And it is such freedom. And it comes from putting God first. So I'm hoping when we sing the song at the end today that you will see it in a whole different light, that it's telling us to make that decision, and that it is just a breath away. All right, one more quote here. This is from Myrtle too. This is probably my favorite Unity quote, and you've heard it before. From me, when you truly go to the Christ within yourself, instead of your own thoughts, you will receive whatever you need. Unless you heed this instruction, drop the unwise things that you've been insisting upon with your little tiny mind relative to the whole universe, and begin to think of God in you and about you as the total fullness of every good. Unless you do this, you will seem to go through an eternity of confusion and lack and hunger. Whew, she doesn't pull the punches there, does she? All right, I'm going to tell you another story. This is a picture that it was inspired by my friend Kate, who's the high priestess, because she not only taught me about cake, but she's also the one that introduced me to dragons. That's a picture of her listening to dragons. So I want to give you another personal example, because a lot of our time together and the inspiration I received from her was in nature. And we went hiking by NCAR right during wintertime, just wet, everything's wet, and it was just total mud. And I thought I was doing better at, being present in the moment, because I was like, okay, mud, I can slide. So I was being, in the moment, but still kind of like, I wish it was dry or something. And so we hiked, and then I was like, I can't wait to get out of this mud. But then she said, no, let's pick up this mud, and let's just paint ourselves with mud and just declare boldly that, God and nature is on our side. And I'm like, whoa, okay. So we actually took up this mud, and we painted each other's faces, like native, people or something. And then we found this beautiful spot where we could see, south and all the mountains. And we just wailed and made noise and just gratitude. Wow. Imagine if we could live like that, where that kind of connection to joy and exuberance and celebration is right there, just like a piece of cake with no calories. So thank you, Kate, again, for that lesson about when you're in the mud, paint yourself with it. All right, I'm running out of time here, so I'm going to end with some fun cake images, because I think it is a good metaphor. So when I show these images, think now that cake is a metaphor about how easy and delicious the spiritual life is. Where there is cake, there is always hope, and there's always cake. Keep calm and eat cake. In the first service, my sound and some of my slides didn't work, and I'm like, okay, is that right? I'm here, I'm present, doesn't matter. I'm not going to let whatever's happening with the technology affect me. This is a cake that was made to honor the Buddha energy in a person. Isn't that beautiful? That's a cake you can eat. Whoa. Spiritually inspired cake. And this as well, it was the same place. It was a presentation, or a whole bunch of people made cakes to honor the Buddha nature. And that's where that one came from. And you might be asking, hey, Steve, how does this fit in with all your dragon stuff? Because you talked so much about dragons before. Well, I checked with them. Guess what they said? Yep. Cake is enlightenment, and they just went for it. So I love that image, because look how happy and joyous that dragon is. So there you have it. Spirituality is like a piece of cake, and I encourage you all to just eat it and consume it with abandon. And if you have any questions about, hey, how do I take that energy and manifest it into the prayer and meditation, and you don't have a strong prayer and meditation practice, come see me. No charge, just make an appointment, and I will work with you and help you build a prayer and meditation practice. Because like that diversity of X, Y, and Z and everything, everyone needs to pray and meditate in a different way. And I can help you find that. So come to me if you need that. So thank you and bless you. And I see the Christ as all of you. Amen. So now we will take an offering and if you're online, which thank you for being online too, you can show us some love by, hitting the like button, messaging a friend, writing a review. And this offering is also a decision point. In this moment, like you're deciding to give or not, are you going to live by ego, or are you going to put Spirit first? Here at Unity, we do everything in our power to pass on the beauty and the truth of who you are. So help us build this community. Help us spread this message, and help us transform the world. We have all these ways to give. Recurring donations the best. But here's a fun way that you can participate if you not ready to make a donation, we have new bumper stickers. They don't say bring it on God, but they say I choose unity. And there's also one that says I choose unity, and it has that diversity flag on it, which is so important to put out there. I mean, we still have a long ways to go. So they're like $1 or $2. We just got them. They're hot off the press. They smell really good. You can go buy a bumper sticker too. That's another way to do it. So take a moment now and just hold the energy or your actual offering in your hand, and let us just say this affirmation together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive because I give, because I am the Christ. Amen. Thank you. And now we have the opportunity, while we're doing the offering, to be blessed again by John and Amy.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you everybody for having us back. We were trying to decide what song we wanted to play, second song, and we had the honor of playing for an old family friend's wedding on Friday, and she wanted this song as her processional during the ceremony. It's kind of a song, even though it's the middle of summer, it's sort of a song about new beginnings. So just to make things real difficult on myself, I decided to do it on an instrument I don't really play. So we're going to try to do it again, and it's called Here Comes the Sun. Hopefully you can all sing along.
He's so brave.
Woo!
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Little darling, the smiles return into our faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Ready? Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Here's my favorite part. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. One more, sing it loud. Sun, 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 here it comes. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. It's all right. Thank you so much. Thanks for singing.
Oh, the sun is indeed here. Thank you for that. I think one of the being courageous is definitely a form of love, showing up like that. All right, I'm going to do a couple brief announcements real quick. Remember, we have our potluck at 12:15 where you can show up even if you don't have food, or drop by Whole Foods, chance for community. Seditious class is coming up. And what else I can say? I'm looking forward to, in the fall, welcoming back, all the kids. We're going to have a big celebration and welcome, a chance to really dive into the joy of Spirit coming up very soon. So if you know kids that want to be, get that energy and that awareness of Spirit and want to have fun, then invite them to come to that coming up at the end of this month. And let me see if I have anything else. I'm going to do a closing prayer, and then we're going to have some dance music, and not to override you guys, but eventually at the end we're going to have some dance music, and it's a song that's called All or Nothing. It's one of my favorite dance songs, and so if you want to dance around here, I'll be down here doing my thing, and you can join me for that. But for now, let's go ahead and sing our closing songs. Oh, and we do have prayer chaplains. If you have a prayer need, then stay seated, and a prayer chaplain will come and meet you and reflect the Spirit back to you. And maybe if you want to go down to our meditation place. We don't have a discussion group today because we're going to be in the potluck at 12:15. Let's all stand up and sing this song with a new awareness. Release and I let go, and let it run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release. Struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. All right. So let's go to the next song because we have time. For once in my life, my talk was short. I usually always talk too long. I'm so happy that my talk was shorter. All right, let's do it. Let's do this song as well. Gosh, I'm just throwing things at you, huh? But you guys are on your feet, man. Woo! Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With there take. Let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let's hear it for the band, right? Woo!